Nice shot. Nice shot.
Op 4 eliminated.
How's it going? This is GRMP, and on this one we're going to be comparing an old ace to a relatively new one. Like I've said before, reviewing our clips will really help us improve our performance, so I wanted to compare an old clip versus a new one so I can see first if there's any improvement in general, hopefully there is, and second if there are any significant issues that I still haven't fixed. I'll quickly go over some of the good and bad to both while we watch them and compare the main issues at the end. So we're going to start with the old clip. Sadly, this one's only about 4 months old and it's still so hard to watch. We're playing Bomb on Oregon, I'm playing Thermite, and we're only down by 1 round, but if I remember correctly, we lost the first round pretty badly. It looks like I queued with 1 other person and the other 3 are randoms. It just looks like I have no plan. I'm waiting here in main tower for a pick on a defender that does not need to rotate because they're not getting any pressure because none of my teammates have made it in the building yet. And instead of droning or being with one of the groups pushing into the objective, I'm here waiting for a pick that is very unlikely to happen.
Upstairs?
So I see 2 of my teammates die, and I guess my thought is I'll run to where they died? Not sure. I get lucky right here. They start pre-firing through the garage. They must have been laying down. Most of those shots hit the building.
I triggered it, but
How is that?
Still just peeking for no reason.
That killed you
instead
though,
of droning or suggesting a different push from my teammates. I still look so lost.
got one of the things.
Not sure what I'm looking for. This is a pretty bad slicing of the pie. I am not using any cover, and I'm not aiming at anywhere a defender would typically be. And I get the bright idea, let's just run through hatch and drop down. It's not the worst idea because I feel as if they're all pushing and being aggressive towards my dwindling team. I figured they wouldn't be anchoring in the proper position because they would be looking for those kills. And it ended up working out. Shock myself a bit. I get lucky that he's just going through the hallway. Those 2 weren't bad. I was able to put pressure on both sides. Luckily only 1 was after me.
Push in. Just push in.
Instead of reloading or using my drone again, you can hear that she's in the closet. That was so bad. The only good thing about that was that I dropped to crouching position to lower my head height and make it less likely for a headshot, but she should have killed me. That was a really bad engagement.
It's on the stairs. Right? He's on your left.
This wasn't the worst idea. I just wanted to challenge Kavera before she got the interrogation or while she was getting it. I didn't time it properly, and luckily when I was pre-firing around this corner, she didn't decide to play it safe, and I was able to get that last kill. So this ace is only about 5 days old. It's still not that great, and we're still working off of the enemy team's mistakes, but it's definitely a little better. We're playing Bomb on Clubhouse. This is match point, and we're down 3-4. I'm playing Ash and solo queuing as usual. This team didn't have the worst communication, but they had a hard time focusing on one plan at a time, and they were also rushing each engagement. So I decided to play the solo game slightly more literally and go for kills and pressure on the opposite side of the objective.
Let's try to get this wall. They can run out from garage though, is the thing.
You can see that I'm trying to help them formulate some type of a plan and remind them of what they're vulnerable to.
And they can peek you from the door.
Make sure to clear your throat before you talk to people. This line really helped out with this first kill. Good headshot, not bad slicing of the pie. I expected him to go a little further to the right, that didn't happen. And even though I'm challenging another angle, I pushed back far enough that I wouldn't be vulnerable to the left window right there towards construction. I got lucky with that second kill. He was on his drone or holding an angle with too much tunnel vision.
We have tons of time. We have 2 minutes. Let's drone each person out.
In this case, it seems like I'm using my brain. I'm paying attention to time and playing it much safer. I'm droning and trying to convince my team to take their time as well so we don't throw. Making sure to gather information to formulate the next plan, which was to take out this mirror window. It's good that I'm not losing my mind and noticing small details like taking out the ADS before I shot the Ash charge. I didn't slice the pie too badly right there, and I didn't overcommit to shooting Maestro on the first pass. I take out the Doc, who had a crossfire through some kill holes, and put the pressure back on Maestro before he'd get a better angle on me.
Ash is on point.
Still being cautious. They tell me she's in garage, but I'm making sure she's not flanking from another angle.
Just run around through the window and plant A, yeah.
I'm planning ahead for a future engagement that I might have to use my flashes if they all get killed somehow by taking out the ADS, and luckily none of that had to happen. She peeked the window as we expected, and I got that final headshot. Aim is a little bit better, planning is a little bit better, each engagement was slightly safer, I had an idea of what I should do to supplement my team's push, definitely a little better than the first ace, but let's get into the comparison. One of the main issues with the Thermite ace was the lack of decision making and planning. I was not helping my team for the most part, and I had no idea what our plan was to get into the objective or take out the roamers. I just looked so lost every time the circumstances would change or a teammate would die. Another issue was that I completely stopped droning after the prep phase. I did not drone my teammates in, I didn't drone myself in, and I kept just getting lucky that I didn't get taken out every time I moved through the building. My clearing, like slicing the pie or checking corners, was so bad. I didn't use cover while I did it. I placed my reticle at the middle of the opening instead of holding to the side of my cover, which would give me a safer angle. I didn't adjust my aim to common defender positions as I crossed the corner or opening. Also, the timing was really bad. It was about a minute and 20 seconds before any of us made it into the building, and it was only because I ran in and dropped through the hatch like a maniac. Once I was momentarily safe, I then was too aggressive with almost a minute left. I still didn't use my drone and forced the engagement with Mira in close quarters with my pistol. There were obviously countless more issues with that one, but we'll focus on those for now. Luckily, a lot of those issues were improved on with the Ash ace. I had an idea of how to supplement my team's habits and counter the enemy team's strats before the round even started. I had a plan, and I had an idea of what my teammates should do and kept rotating through the options as they died. I prepped backup plans like taking out the ADS to use my flashes if all of my teammates were killed off at the end. I made sure to drone and get as much information as possible before making each push, which then provided the next sub-plan. I would drop and change angles often as I moved and during engagements. My slicing of the pie and clearing corners was better and kept me safer throughout the round. And finally, the timing was much better. I was putting pressure on the defenders and the objective within the first minute, and I took out 4 defenders and controlled the objective with over a minute left. Again, there are countless issues with both, there's always something to improve on, and even the mistakes that are better need a lot of refining, but luckily at least I'm showing some progress. Alright, I think that is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video.